I'm not gonna start with Once Upon a Time because this tale is definitely not that old. I don't know if it's tragedy or a happily ever after. All I know is it took me a lot just to be part of the story of me and him because I was breathing dreams like air until he came. Everyone has the freedom to fall in love with anyone they want, but things are not the same for everyone. Your life partner will be decided even before you are born. How would you like that? The tale goes like this. Lucas Granite and Aruto Hyumi were best friends in high school. Aruto Hyumi belongs to a rich Japanese family while Lucas was a farmer's son. At that time, Aruto's family were staying in Berlin. While Lucas went to a Berlin school as there were no schools in Miltenberg at that time. However, Aruto was quite open-minded and did not mind befriending Lucas. He helped Lucas financially and their bond deepened as they grew up. Soon they became best friends. After their graduations, Aruto decided to go back to Japan to take over his father's business while Lucas went back to his village to help his father with the dairy. But they were still in contact because of this great invention called a telephone. They decided to strengthen their friendship. They will get their children married to each other. I wasn't born till then, neither was Kirito. After a year, the Garnet family was blessed with a beautiful daughter. She had bright blue eyes surrounded by the long and beautiful eyelashes. Her pinkish white hair glorified her face with a tint of pink undertone on her cheek and rose-like lips. Mr. Lucas was overjoyed and sent for Aruto right away. Under a dope grey sky, the colors of the world donned its winter coat, each hue darker and richer than before. The path was sparkling with a crunchy as they left their footsteps. The air from a frozen lace on their skin, delicate and cold, like winter waves on shallow sand. They reached a small house and knocked at the door. Mr. Lucas Granite and Blondie McMahon opened the door. Arthur hugged Lucas and congratulated him. They reached the baby rooms where the baby was lying wrapped up in a swaddling and soft white blanket near her mother. Mr. and Mrs. Hyumi looked at baby girl. She was fast asleep with a small curl covering her face. Both of them said together, "She will make the perfect bride for my son," Mr. Hyumi said with a smile. "What's her name?" "We decided her name Vivian. It means someone who is alive and energetic," Lucas said. "That's a beautiful name," Aruto said. "Then I will name my son Kirito, the god of the valley of alive," Mr. Hyumi said. "So my husband was meant to be a god? I was supposed to worship for him my rest of life? I wish they had taken good care of him, for me at least, but they didn't." 5 years passed. I was 5 years old then, and Kirito was 4. Mr. and Mrs. Hyumi tracked back the same path as he was looking down or looking anywhere. On the winter dawn, it was autumn and the sky was barely visible due to the orange leaves on the tree. He kept his suitcase aside and knocked the door. Same door again. The door opened and a beautiful woman with a pink curl came out. As soon as she saw them, she smiled. It's been a while, Mr. and Mrs. Hyomi. And how are you, Kirito? She said as she leaned towards Kirito. Kirito hid behind his mother. He was shy type. Well, I wasn't. Lucas is out for some petty business. If you could wait here for a moment, Mrs. Granete said. Where is Vivian? Mr. Hume asked. She is playing in the field. Why don't you go meet her? Mr. Granete suggested with a smile. Yes, I will, Mr. Hume said, and he got up and paced towards the field. He wandered in the field for some time until he found me. A girl sitting a huge Jersey cow. I mean to say a girl sitting on a huge Jersey cow. I looked at Mr. Hume and smiled. Do you want this berry, uncle? You can take it. Vivian has many. Like all other 5-year-old kids, I was stupid. But unlike all other 5-year-old kids, I was going to get engaged. He asked me if I knew him, and of course I didn't. Never had seen him before. That's what my memory said, but was I right? Definitely I wasn't, but I did know about Kirito. In all my memory, even then I couldn't forget everything, thanks to my short-term memory problem. But not Kirito's name. I was slow learner. I could forget even my birthday, but not Kirito's. Mr. Hyomi leaned towards me with a gentle smile. He said, Vivian, I'm here from Japan and Oh, you're Kirito fathers! I was so excited for my own downfall. He was there to meet me not because he liked me or he missed me. He couldn't care less about that. It was just that our parents had decided to get us engaged beforehand. I left everyone for him, but he left me for everyone else. You know, Kirito Hyomi, he has always been this way, shorter than most of men with huge pride. I have to fight every time to catch his attention, and every time we tossed, never once did it feel right. How many times did I fall for you over and over again? Oh, yeah, I didn't count. I didn't know how to count heartbreaks yet. So we got engaged in the end, and naturally, as a typical 5-year-old, I was happy. I mean, we ate cake. That was big deal for me, but I wasn't free now, not anymore. As the days went by, my expectation grew. I thought goodbyes were a closed chapter, but for you they weren't. It felt like I was a pack ripped out from one story and forcefully pasted into your book of life. Mom brought storybook of princess and prince, angel, demon, mermaid, fairies, magic and whatnot to make me believe that magic exists. And like Cinderella, one day Kirito will come to my place and take me away to a huge castle. An angel would guide our way forever. Do angels exist? I asked my mother while we were walking in fields, calling out for our cows to come home. I was 7 then, naive and foolish. What do you think? Mom said as she giggled. I think they do. That's why they brought me Kirito. Then I think they exist. They do exist, she said. And we went ahead whistling for cow. Will I ever meet one, Mama? I asked, but I guess she didn't hear me. Maybe Kirito was an angel. That's what I thought as I danced through the valley. A small flower fell on my hair from above. Strange it was because there were no flowers around. I never found out where it came from until I realized what it meant to be. So I looked up and smiled. I know, that was you. Oh, how good it would have been if we met by chance, not choice. If we would fall in love like all other humans do, under God's plan and not that of mortals. But we didn't, and you know what? I am glad we didn't, Ethan.